For joining us here at 6:01. I'm Jason Hackett alongside Alicia Lewis.
And we're going to get to that breaking news out of Albert Lea in just a moment. But first, we are preparing you for a KARE 11 weather impact alert. It's happening here in just over 24 hours from now. So washout rain could bring as much as 3 inches across the metro. That's tomorrow night into your Friday morning commute. Our team issues these alerts when weather will likely impact your plan. So let's get right out to meteorologist John Ziegler. Looks like Friday morning's commute is going to be dicey.
Yes, Friday morning, heavy rain. It could be early, like 3, 4, 5 in the morning. But again, yes, we're going to be tracking that out. We're still expecting that here. Backyard is gorgeous. I got a random sprinkle, though, passing by. So we've already officially had our first sprinkle of the day Wednesday. Now, it is warm. It is nice. It's not probably going to impact you here this morning. It's a sprinkle. But I do think the first half of the day today is dry and rather warm, obviously starting off warmer because we have that cloud deck rolling in. Now, we know there's a few sprinkles in here. Wilmer, Litchfield into the metro. Brainerd, Bemidji, you guys are a little cooler, but you're clear. Sun's rolling up there. I do expect, well, there'll be more sunshine than that, but I do expect mainly dry conditions through 1, and then the afternoon we're going to be tracking a chance for the passing showers today. So umbrellas handy with those passing showers. We will time out the heavy rain, everything you need to know, and the new model updates that did change some stuff in your forecast in a bit. TC's here with traffic. How's it look?
Hey, good morning. Hope your day's off to a good start. Things are quieting down. I mean, the stretch of 94 eastbound from Monticello to Maple Grove has been pretty busy this morning. There was a vehicle spin out here not too far from Otsego as you're headed toward Albertville and St. Michael. And I was telling you to take alternate routes. Now you don't have to do that. You no longer need to hop on Jason Avenue. You can take 94 eastbound without any problems, which is the good news this morning. Looking around the metro, things are looking pretty great, pretty quiet now that vehicle spin out situation has cleared up. We're gonna get away from this part of the metro, go toward the East Metro in St. Paul and talk about some road work when I see you next, and also a road closure happening later on tonight that you'll want to know the detours for. Alicia.
Cece, thank you. We do have to update you on breaking news south of the Twin Cities. Right now, the Minnesota BCA is investigating a death and use of force incident.
So just before we came on the air, they said they're on scene in rural Albert Lea. That's about an hour and a half south of Minneapolis, just west of Austin, Minnesota. Audrey Russo has been making calls all morning long. Audrey, what have you learned?
Yeah, so I've reached out to the Albert Lea Police Department, to the Freeborn County Sheriff's Department, and to the BCA. Albert Lea Police told me they could not say anything at the time that I called, but we know that this is a use of force incident investigation. They say that the BCA says they have both their agents and other crime scene personnel on scene making this investigation. Now, their first tweet came out around 3:01 this morning, so that's when we hopped in the car and drove down here. Now, the tweet says that they are in rural Albert Lea, and Albert Lea is about 15 square miles, and so it would be very difficult to pinpoint exactly where that is. So we are here at the Freeborn County Government Center. This is where the law enforcement in this area is housed. We haven't seen too much activity out this way, but again, we're going to continue to keep reaching out. We know that this is a death investigation that they are treating as a use of force incident. So again, just a lot of questions that we have this morning. We don't know what type of force was used. We don't know what circumstances led up to this investigation, but I will continue to keep reaching out, and I'll bring you the latest as I hear. Jason, Alicia.
Lots of questions remain out there this morning. Audrey Russo reporting live. We know you're on top of it. Thank you so much. We're also keeping tabs on breaking news in St. Paul this morning. In the last few hours, police on the scene of a crash in the East Phelan neighborhood. When our photographer arrived, there were 2 scenes near Maryland Avenue and Phelan Boulevard. We have calls into SPPD to learn what happened here, and we'll update you as soon as we know more. We're learning new details this morning on what led up to last week's federal raids in the Twin Cities.
Now, one of them at a Mexican restaurant on Lake Street, sparking protests. Our Michelle Beck joins us now. Michelle, this new information points really to a massive investigation happening.
Well, hey, so it turns out investigators have been looking into this for more than a year now, suspecting the work of an international drug trafficking organization. This federal raid of a Minneapolis Mexican restaurant got a lot of people concerned over what this was about, and you can see that in this large crowd. Agents were actually executing search warrants there and at 7 other locations last week, according to the U.S. Attorney for Minnesota. He says the warrants were tied to money laundering, narcotics trafficking, and human human trafficking. And here's the incredible discovery that prompted this investigation: 900 pounds of meth inside these metal containers. That's worth up to $25 million, all stashed in a Burnsville storage unit. Last week's raids have added to the evidence, including these gold-plated guns and these so-called homage portraits of Scarface, which court documents say are common among drug and money launderers. So the question is, how do we know this? Well, the U.S. Attorney for Minnesota revealed these new details because he just federally charged a local woman, a St. Paul woman, for assaulting law enforcement officers at last week's raid. Isabel Lopez is at the Sherburne County Jail right now, and she is expected in court tomorrow. More details on her case coming up in the next half hour. Back to you.
All right, Michelle reporting live for us this morning. Thank you so much. This morning, a Minneapolis mother is spreading awareness of the text to 911 option after police say her 2-year-old daughter was killed in a murder-suicide earlier this week. Tricia Princeton said her partner of 7 years struggled with his mental health since his father's death 2 years ago and had refused to seek help. Princeton told us he was holding them captive the night of the shooting and she was unable to call 911. Now she hopes others will learn what she didn't know.
I think the whole situation could have been either prevented or a different outcome for sure.
A text to 911 became available in Minnesota in 2017, allowing you to text your location and the type of emergency you're experiencing to the number 911, the same way you text any other number. Tricia has an online fundraiser to help with her daughter Kinsley's funeral costs. If you'd like to help, we have a link to it under this story on KARE11.com.
New this morning, Elon Musk is backing off from his social media feud with President Donald Trump. He posted on X about 4 hours ago saying, quote, "I regret some of my posts about President Donald Trump last week. They went too far." The two traded insults after Musk criticized Trump's big, beautiful bill. Musk going as far as accusing the president of being in the Jeffrey Epstein files, and Trump threatening to cancel government contracts with Musk's companies. We're keeping tabs on both of their accounts this morning for any updates.